Alrighty, what's happening, everyone? It's the Riverside Entertainment One, right? And I'm just here to give you my thoughts on match 38, I believe, or no, sorry, I think it's match 34. Yes, I think it's match 34. Yes, between of that Cricket World Cup, which is between Ireland and India. Okay, this was pretty much in terms of point significance, this was a nothing match. This is more of a match for the records. Okay, Ireland decided to bat first, and they actually got off to a good start. I believe their opener and William Porterfield, they actually did pretty well. William Porterfield actually played a decent innings, but to stifle the momentum, Dhoni brought in the experienced spinners, and I'll call them drifting in and out of this match, and because given the rate that they're going at, once the spinners came in, especially how rapidly Suresh Raina got through his overs, the contributions from Ravindra Jadeja as well, and even from Ashwin, who Ravichandran Ashwin, who actually did pretty good in this match. Who actually was perhaps the turning point man of this match. So he did pretty well, and you could see the Irish batsmen, they were just not coping with pressure. They handled themselves for 2 or 3 balls, and they just then throw their bat at whatever. And this is a smart bowling by India. And I hate to admit it, but at this form, India looking at also sort of looking at the favorites, one of the favorites to win this tournament. But you never know with Australia and New Zealand around. Well, given this, now I'm supporting New Zealand and South Africa because just because they're not one of the big three. Okay. You had once again some rearguard action from Niall O'Brien, and he actually saw Ireland through the power play. Although wickets kept falling at the other end. One of the bigger wickets was of Kevin O'Brien, because we all know he can hit the ball, and he's sort of gone down in legend by that one overrated innings in Bangalore. I'm sorry, I'll have to call the innings overrated because it was in Bangalore. It was at I believe it was the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Yeah, it was at a bowler's graveyard, the stadium that makes any batsman look good. It was at that stadium. So for me, those innings, almost all of those innings, they don't count. Because, like I said, you remember, Collins Aboya scored 96 against Australia. 96 not out against Australia. You're telling me that the venom-filled Australia could not get this Kenyan batsman out when other batsmen were going out. No disrespect to Collins Aboya, but still, it was sort of I don't know why is that fact always overlooked, that it was in Bengaluru, and it was in a pitch that is tailor-made to make batsmen look good. Sometimes batsmen with no talent look good, but still, we all know even outside of that, K. O'Brien can actually hit the ball. He's actually had decent 50s and 60s, and decent striking, but he's a bit overrated. But still, in the end, Sunil Gavaskar brought up one good statistic, and here's where I like his. Oh, by the way, with the commentary, I'll have to point out something. It is nice to hear Sanjay Manjrekar back, because Harsha Bhogle, take notes. Sanjay Manjrekar carries even from the way he commentates to the way he conducts interviews and all that. He carries himself like a dignified man, someone who's sophisticated, someone who's who's a gentleman but still a man. Harsha Bhogle carries himself like a clown. That's his. He carries like there's no problem being a geek. A geek is just an enthusiast in my book. But a problem being a nerd, like a geeky nerd. A nerd is like someone who's like someone who's sort of lacks in confidence and lives in their own little bubble, and tries to overact way too much, like which does not come naturally to them. You could kind of see it. And like I said, the perfect comparison with Harsha Bhogle is Michael Cole, because they try to overdo and overact way too much, and it just ends up making them look stupid. And that's what I call it, like a nerd or like a clown. Like as a geek, like in terms of being a geek, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, come on. I mean, okay, for a guy for a guy who just carries himself like with glasses and even who's acting excited. Look at Wasim Akram, man. Wasim Akram carries himself like a man, and like Wasim Akram doesn't come off as corny. This is like, and no, he still acts excited and all that. In fact, his pairing with Ravi Shastri on the mic was very, very good. It's just Harsha Bhogle, like doesn't work out on the mic. Anyways, the commentators pointed out something that India have actually. Never mind that. India have actually bowled out their opposition, 4 times out of 4, and this will be the 5th time if they do it. Taking 50 wickets, and that's exactly what happened, because after the power play, Mohammad Shami came back in, and you know that Mohammad Shami is an intelligent, he's young, but he has some talent. He has a lot of talent. In fact, I'm quite a fan of this guy. Like, I want to see this guy succeed. Like Umesh Yadav, not that much, but Mohammad Shami, I want to see. Yeah. Okay, I'll be a bit biased. Yeah, the fact that he's from Bengal, it has to do something. Like it has to do something with it. That it's a bit of the Bengali pride thing, I guess. Same thing with why I'm a bit biased towards Saurav Ganguly as well. But then again, Saurav Ganguly was the motherfucking man. I mean, he was a very talented batsman, and he politics obviously did get in his way, but he's a very talented batsman, and he had a good head over his shoulders. Obviously, he wasn't the most successful captain, World Cup captain, and there was an ICC pulse question, and hands down, the most successful captain is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But then again, I mean, you could say a lot went into his favor, but the most successful captain was Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because under Dhoni you had a lot of ups as well. Because let me tell you something, I know I make fun of Dhoni, I call him Microsoft Dhoni, Mango Singh Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Phony and all that, but still, notice one thing after Dhoni's captaincy, there's a new era of confidence that has come into the Indian team, that they can be, they want to defeat and annihilate other teams, they just take no prisoners attitude. And this is okay, apart from the corniness on the field, I kind of like this approach. Like I said, my problem with Indian cricket is pretty mostly to do off the field. On the field, they're a pretty cohesive unit. They're pretty cohesive and pretty relentless unit. So, anyways, after Mohammad Shami came in, Niall O'Brien, I believe he got out in the 70s, the 80s, or maybe the 60s. But he played a good innings, but. Then again, it wasn't going to go anywhere, and Ireland did good to cross the 250 mark, but then again, with a team like India and the form that they're in, 259 was a nothing total for them. I mean, with the form India then, for me, anything below 350, India's going to chase it down. So that was good to, so, I mean, and England, and, by the way, Trent Johnston was actually playing for Ireland. So Ireland were all out in just at the conclusion of the 49th over. They're all out for 259, and like I said, this was a nothing total. And what proves this is a nothing total that India actually got to this total, I believe, even before the power play started, or just when the power play, way before the 40 is over. India got to this total with only two wickets gone. Shikhar Dhawan got to a century. Rohit Sharma got out to Trent Johnston, and I believe, Shikhar Dhawan also got out to Trent Johnston after scoring exactly 100 runs. So Ajinkya Rahane and Virat Kohli were then not on the crease, and with this batting lineup, you'll have to do a lot more than bring in the Cusacks and the Trent Johnstons and the Balburnys and all that, Eddie Balburnys and all that. So. And the K. O'Briens, and so India make it 9 in a row. So, like I said, they're on a bit of a winning streak. No, not a bit. They're on a good winning streak at the moment. Excuse me. Yeah, they're on a good winning streak at the moment, and they're carrying a lot of momentum going in. They obviously top the charts in top. The group, top the table in their group, so they're carrying a lot of momentum going into the quarterfinals. Okay, today's game is also pretty much a nothing game. Sri Lanka versus Scotland. So Sri Lanka, I guess, will just look to up their tempo a bit, if you will, and up their scoring, if you will. If I remember correctly, Sri Lanka were number 2. In our group, I believe it was it was New Zealand, Australia, Sri Lanka number 4. Sri Lanka number 4, and I know through some convoluted calculations it ended up that Bangladesh will face India or something, but you never know. If Bangladesh actually can beat New Zealand, things can change. So like I said, congratulations to India. Taking nothing away from them on the field. Like I'll say this again, said it before, I'll say it again. My problem with India is all the bullshit they pull off the field, and that's what and that's not me. That's most of the Indian hate, most of Indian cricket team haters, not the Indian haters. We're not racist. The Indian cricket team haters. That's that's agenda. It's the bullshit that. The bullshit and the cadence, and the stupid little shenanigans they pull off the field, and a few things on the field. Because if you must know, apart from the Stephen Finn rule, a lot of these other new rules that have come in, as in not allowing of a runner and all that, and way stricter ICC code of conduct nonsense garbage, all this that you can't even. Some of them, and honestly, those who ever say, you can't even look at someone funny. I'm like, shut the fuck up, go take a testosterone pill, alright? Because you're lacking that man hormone. Yeah, India's shenanigans is behind a lot of this, and look, India's shenanigans was behind getting Steve Buckner to retire. An umpire like Steve Buckner, India's shenanigans was involved in getting him to retire, and from that point, I hated the shenanigans because, I started coining the phrase, bullying of world cricket, but that's a whole another video for another day. Anyways, that's about it, and unless Bangladesh involved, and perhaps until maybe quarter, semis or finals spots, you'll pretty much get these short thought videos, videos about just my thoughts on the games. And all right, I'm looking forward to constant suggestions. This is Tanvir Sai signing out.